If you thought the Lost Brave Little Toaster THX trailer I encountered a month ago was bad enough, well guess again, because this next missing THX trailer ruined another one of my favorite films made by Disney from my childhood. I was at Walmart, busy shopping with my mom. Everything looks normal as we walk to a section of DVDs that are for kids and adults alike. I decided to find a DVD that might interested me. Then, after 1 minute of searching, I spotted something that caught my attention. It was a Chicken Little DVD, but it was somehow THX certified. Chicken Little was one of my favorite animated films made by Disney, considering everyone called it the worst animated film of 2005. My mom and I watched it 5 times back when I was younger. However, I looked at the cover as I examined it. The cover consisted of the main characters from the film, Chicken Little, Abby Mallard, runt of the litter, and Buck Cluck, Chicken Little's dad, in the front of the cover. Chicken Little however seemed to be freaked out all of a sudden while the others looked happy, while text is being shown in the background. I got a really confused expression on my face. How could this film from my childhood be THX certified, despite the fact it's made by Disney, while text was animated by Pixar and belongs to THX? I thought to myself. I also realized Fish Out of Water is missing in the cover, because he's always with Abby and Runt, considering he was one of my favorite characters in the movie. I shrugged it off and pretend that it was a mistake they did, but I decided to purchase the DVD anyway. I told my mom that I can get it, and she said yes as we seen the movie a few times before. I told the seller that I can buy the DVD too, and she said the same answer just like what my mom said to me. However, I thought of that traumatizing Brave Little Toaster THX trailer that I saw a month ago, which my mom gave me by a mistake after I showed her the evidence. After we left Walmart, we came back home to bring out the DVD that we got from the DVD section. My mom told me that she had to go to work on her papers that she forgot to finish yesterday. This gave me enough time to watch the trailer. I opened the case and inside was the Chicken Little DVD itself, along with another DVD I never noticed before. It was the rare Chicken Little THX trailer made by Disney. Huh, seems interesting, I said to myself. I put the disc in my DVD player, while I put the Chicken Little DVD disc in my nostalgia collection of DVDs. The DVD started with the Walt Disney Home Entertainment logo. Then it showed the previews of the upcoming Disney films from 2006. After watching all that happening, the DVD finally took me to the main menu. The menu design looked really odd to look at, considering it's not like the other trailers Rowan encountered, which had characters in different color boxes. The menu consisted of Chicken Little looking up at text, being scared. The music in the background was from the scene where everything was revived back to normal after Chicken Little and his dad reunited Kirby with her parents. I somehow have a bad feeling that Adam Kennington made this trailer just to ruin my childhood again. I pressed play trailer and the video started with a black screen for 5 seconds. Suddenly, after 5 seconds, a warning came up. This trailer was made for the theatrical release of Cloverfield. Despite not being THX certified, the following trailer you are about to see must not be viewed by minors as it contains unpleasant nature and graphic violence. Watch at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh man, I said in a nervous tone, here I go again. The trailer started at a shot of a hotel, taking place at night. Right next to the hotel is the Walt Disney Animation Studios building. It then showed the entrance of the hotel outside for 5 seconds. Just then, text appeared out of nowhere, rolling towards the building.
Looks like the T-Man is going to hunt down those actors who are in that one animated movie everybody hated.
Text said.
However, I'm not going to do this murder situation all by myself.
After 3 seconds, a familiar robot drone came into the shot. It was no other than Bob, Tex's sidekick, from the Text vs. the Robot trailer.
Are you ready, Bob?
Text asked as the drone floated over to him.
Yes, Tex. I'm prepared to have a lot of fun with you.
Bob explained. He had a soft, cute-looking robot voice as heard in the trailer. I was already getting puzzled at what I'm seeing. I paused the trailer for a moment and looked at the DVD cover again. What? I asked in confusion. Why is that drone from the new THX trailer doing here in this trailer? Unlike fish out of water, I realized he's not in front of the cover, considering he's not flying anywhere with text in the background. I was really surprised to see the little drone in this trailer, despite the fact he didn't make his first appearance until the Text vs. the Robot trailer made by THX themselves. I went back to the trailer and continued watching it. The two robots went into the hotel while Bob grabbed out his mini machine gun under his body. It then cuts to the dining room with the people who turned out to be Chicken Little, Buck Cluck, Abby Mallard, and Runt's voice actors, Zach Braff, Gary Marshall, Joan Cusack, who also played Jessie from Toy Story 2, and Steve Zahn. It was weird seeing Joan Cusack appearing for the third time in another lost THX text trailer, despite the fact that she was already killed twice in the other two trailers that Rowan saw. One of the actors began to speak.
Have you guys heard about the report about a psychotic robot going on the loose killing innocent people?
Asked the man resembling Zach.
Nope, never heard of him.
The woman resembling Cusack replied.
Well, I did.
Said the man resembling Gary.
I heard that he killed those old living appliances that belonged to a little boy who loves them after taking down hundreds of people and other characters from different animated companies who disrespect him. Well, let's see if the news has something to do with the situation.
The man resembling Steve Zahn asked, as he grabbed a remote to turn on the TV, but before he was about to turn on the television, the woman resembling Joan Cusack gasped at what she saw in the doorway.
Guys?
She asked.
Is that the robot Zach was talking about? Yes, ma'am. Of course he was talking about me.
Text answered as he came into the room.
But I'm not the only one who's gonna hurt you. I also brought a new friend of mine with me.
Bob then flied into the room, holding his mini machine gun. The four people gasped in horror as they saw him.
Who are you?
Said the man resembling Gary.
My name is Bob.
Bob explained.
I'm Texas' dual psychic. I met him after he teamed up with Zurg.
Now do you know what time it is?
Text responded.
I don't know. What do you mean?
The man resembling Zach asked.
It's time to have an animal party with a T-Man and his drone buddy tonight.
Text shouted as he grabbed out his chainsaw. The four people began to run away from the criminals as they started chasing after them through the hallway. They went down the elevator while Tex and Bob went flying downstairs. The four actors continued running away as they were about to escape the hotel. But as they were about to evacuate, the power ran out on them. They then realized the side doors weren't functioning anymore, probably because of Tex's chainsaws destroying the power storage somewhere in the building.
Now what do we do?
The man resembling Steve yelled.
I'm afraid there's no way out.
The woman resembling Cusack cried, as Text and Bob flied up towards them.
Oh, there is no way out, alright.
Text said, grinning evilly. He then held up his chainsaw and prepared himself to kill the actors.
Time to meet your fate.
Bob yelled, as he aimed his mini machine gun at the person resembling Zach. The two robots began to attack the four people as the screen cuts back outside of the hotel. All I could hear is Tex's chainsaw, Bob's machine gun, blood splattering, and the people screaming realistically as Text laughed stupidly. Dear God, I said to myself, what the hell am I watching? The scene then faded to black. The trailer continued on, as it showed a wide shot of the THX logo as seen in the Mukin trailer in a dark background. Just then, Chicken Little, Buck, Abby, and Runt walked into the shot as they were being curious and nervous at the same time.
I'm not so sure about this, son. Why did you plan to take us here in the first place?
Buck asked.
I think he wants us to take us to this hideout of the robot who killed innocent people and other characters.
Abby replied.
Yeah, that's why I brought you all here.
Chicken Little replied.
I don't know, guys. I have a bad feeling that Red Robot works for those alien robots, like the ones who attacked us when we rescued fish from their spaceship.
Runt remarked, feeling worried as he looked around the hideout.
It's okay, Run. As long as we're here, we'll be back at the town soon as long as nobody tries to kill us.
Chicken Little responded.
Good thing we left Fish to take care of helpless little Kirby while we left. Besides, what's the worst that could happen instead of the whole sky falling incident?
His dad then started to get a little nervous as he spoke to his son.
Son, are you sure we'll be okay? Because I have a feeling we're gonna get attacked by those aliens.
His sentence was then interrupted by an evil laugh in the background. They all started to feel worried, while Runt panicked the most.
Do you guys hear that?
He asked in a nervous tone.
Runt, remember what Chicken Little said. Everything will be okay.
Abby remarked, trying to reassure him. Then they heard the sound of a familiar jetpack in the distance.
I think Runt is right. I hear something.
Buck responded. The sound of the jetpack became louder and louder until Tex landed right in front of Chicken Little, startling him.
Tex!
Chicken Little shouted as he saw a chainsaw in his robotic arms.
Well.
Tex mocked.
Isn't that the same chicken who cried over a piece of the sky after the acorn incident?
Chicken Little was offended by that comment as he gotten angry at him.
Anyways, what are you and your father doing here anyways? Same with your friends too.
Tex continued. Abby begins to argue at him, as she heard what Tex said to her friend.
Look here, sir. You killed those innocent people and other characters for disrespecting your company because they're afraid of a certain look of yours. That is not a good excuse to kill people.
She spoke. Chicken Little stood up as he began to talk as well.
Yeah, you heard what Abby said. If you were working for those alien robots who looked for their kid who got left behind, you might have been killing everyone in the town of Oakey Oaks while they were invading us. Me and my dad are going to notify the authorities and have you executed if you're going to keep this up.
Tex then chuckled in amusement at what he said.
Do you think you and the others could report me?
He asked tauntingly.
Well, I don't think so. Besides, I'm not alone.
At that moment, Bob hovered over to Tex as he appeared out of the dark.
Who are you?
Abby asked in confusion.
I am Bob.
Bob said as he introduced himself to the group.
I'm joining Tex's evil plan to get rid of you all from this place.
Yes, I decided to let my brand new sidekick team up with me to kill you all instead of bringing someone else here.
Tex cooed. Then his voice became demonic as he went over to Chicken Little.
And now,
It's time to die.
He shouted as he started up his chainsaw. Right before he was about to use his chainsaw on Chicken Little's face, Runt came out of nowhere as he charged towards Tex, knocking him out cold for 30 seconds. Bob turned angry as he used his mini machine gun to kill Runt. As soon as Chicken Little came back over to Abby and Buck who were watching the scene, Runt yelled as he started to run away from Bob.
Curse these genetically tiny legs!
But as soon as he was about to catch up with the others, he was suddenly stopped by a fired projectile that shot him in the stomach. He started to moan weakly as he then said his dying words to Abby.
Fish, I love him.
He said, before falling to the floor. Chicken Little gasped in horror as the pig collapsed to the ground.
Oh no!
Buck exclaimed.
Runt!
Abby cried. Tex came back up after being knocked out by Runt. He then notices his body was already taken down by Bob.
good job, my beautiful droid.
He spoke.
Now which other animal should the teammate extinguish next?
Before he was about to attack one of the animals, Chicken Little shouted to the top of his lungs. And the trio began to run away as Bob's eyes start to turn red.
Oh, it's on.
He exclaimed as he and Tex chased after them. The gang continued running around the hideout until Tex's chainsaw was suddenly thrown towards Abby. Abby then fell to the floor as she grunted in pain for 3 seconds. Just as she was about to get up and run away again, Tex suddenly approached her.
Hey little girl.
Tex said, grinning wildly.
I wonder what you look like as my dinner tonight.
Abby began to hyperventilate as the evil robot picked up his chainsaw to kill her.
Leave me alone, you monster!
She yelled angrily as Tex was about to make contact on her neck with his chainsaw. Chicken Little watched as he saw his friend getting sliced to death by the robot. Abby began to scream in agony as the chainsaw sliced her neck off, though her screaming wasn't in a cartoony way as if Joan Cusack was actually being tortured badly. Abby's head fell to the ground as her body finally collapsed to the floor. Chicken Little went up to her and looked down at her headless body, feeling heartbroken. Oh no, I whispered to myself, poor Abby.
Son, we gotta get out of here.
Buck demanded as he grabbed his son by the arm.
We need to head back to the town or else these scary machines will kill us all.
Chicken Little agreed to this and the duo started to make another run for it. As they continued running away, Chicken Little noticed a pair of robotic arms appearing out of a portal that Tex probably summoned from behind. They looked similar to the alien robots from the movie, only that they were realistic.
Dad, look out!
he cried as the robotic hands grabbed him by the waist. Buck screamed as he was being pulled away from the arms. His screaming, like I said, wasn't in a cartoony way, as if his actor, Gary Marshall, was actually screaming for help.
Go, son! Run! Run!
Buck yelled as he disappeared behind the portal. After the robot arms disappear from the portal, Text closed it up as he and Bob caught up to Chicken Little.
Now I only have one more victim to kill.
Text responded.
And that is you.
Just as the two robots were about to attack Chicken Little, he continued to evacuate the THX hideout. Screaming, Bob begins to chase after him, while shooting his mini machine gun as Tex started laughing in an evil way as he followed his buddy after the chicken. Chicken Little found a hallway in front of the THX hideout and proceeded to hide behind the same wall that Mike hid behind in the Text and Randall trailer. He started to catch breath for a few seconds before he heard Text and Bob behind the wall.
Oh, little chicken, where are you?
Text said in a sing-song voice.
I only want cooked chicken nuggets for my burgers.
We're not gonna kill you. We're only gonna hurt you really bad.
Bob cooed as they tried to find him. Text grunted in anger as he started using his sensibility to calculate where Chicken Little is hiding at.
Hey Bob, I know where the little guy is.
Text remarked. Chicken Little was shocked to hear what Text said, but as soon he was about to look around where he is, Text and Bob are completely missing from behind. He sighed in relief, but before he was about to leave, Text landed right in front of him, as he began to let out a short scream.
Time to have a fun time with Tex.
Tex demanded. He grabbed Chicken Little by the leg as he flew all the way back to the THX logo. The poor chicken started screaming as he was being kidnapped by the robot as they hovered in the air.
Ready to go flying in the air, Pride?
Tex mocked.
No! Put me down this instant!
Chicken Little said in anger. The robot answered as he dropped him to the ground, leaving him to plummet.
Very well then.
Chicken Little started falling all the way down to the front of the THX logo from a 100-degree drop. As soon as he landed on the ground, the sounds of bones breaking could be heard. He tried to stand up, but he couldn't move his legs as they barely broke from the fall. Bob was hovering right next to him, ready to finish him off with his machine gun. As that happened, Tex dropped next to the chicken as he grabbed out his chainsaw again, ready to kill him.
Time to say goodbye, loser.
Bob said as he started giggling sinisterly while aiming his gun at Chicken Little's legs.
You guys are even worse than those alien robots we saw. As in psychopaths. I hope you had a fun time in hell anytime soon.
Chicken Little shouted in anger. Tex then responded by saying,
You're right. We are killing machines, but we also help those alien robots to destroy your town too.
Tex started up his chainsaw as he began to cut Chicken Little's arms off, while Bob shoots his broken legs off, disintegrating them. Chicken Little screamed in agony as the two robots laughed like crazy, while they continued cutting and disintegrating his arms and legs off. After 10 seconds, Chicken Little was now completely amputated. Tex rolled over to him as he began to slowly die as his eyes started to become widened while his mouth became agape. The camera then zoomed into his face as I could hear an audio clip of him saying, "Today is a new day," as heard from the movie before the scene faded to black. But the trailer wasn't over yet, as it showed a shot of the same hotel that was still taking place at night. Everything was now dark because of Tex's chainsaw destroying the power storage from earlier. The screen was full of blood stains, though it was faintly seen. After 5 seconds, Fish out of water finally appeared out of nowhere as he and Kirby were walking around the hotel to see what was going on. Kirby gasped and covered her eyes as she saw the dead bodies of the 4 people. Why is Kirby visiting a hotel at night while Fish is taking care of him when the other characters are at Tex's hideout? Wouldn't her mother and father be worried sick or something? Kirby and Fish continued walking around the hotel as they see more blood splatters and everything else destroyed. Suddenly, they heard the sound of Tex's evil laugh from earlier. They both looked around to see who made the noise. Kirby worryingly pointed to a wall, as she started speaking in baby talk, softly. Fish then responded back to her as he pointed to a shadow of a clear wall revealing 2 mysterious figures which turns out to be Tex and Bob. only that their faces were faintly shown in the dark.
Hello, Sparkies.
Text mocked as his voice echoed through the wall.
You two are a cute couple, right? But we thought we would like to have fun with both of you.
Fish suddenly grinned at the two robots, gurgling in a friendly manner, while Kirby hid back behind him, whimpering for a bit.
Don't worry, little fella.
Bob stated.
We'll try to take care of you once we give a surprise for the fish first.
At that moment, the two robots began to charge towards Fish out of water. Text stabbed Fish's chest with a dagger as he screamed the same way he did the King Kong reference in the movie. Sure, Fish doesn't care about being afraid of everything as he always has a positive face on him. Kirby screamed as she started running away from the two criminals as Text pulled out his dagger out of Fish's chest once he and Bob chased after her.
Mommy!
Kirby yelled as her voice echoed through the hallway. She didn't stop running until her tiny legs suddenly tripped over Tex's mallet, which suddenly came out of nowhere, causing her to hit a wall. By then, she was cornered into a wall, as she had nowhere to escape from the two robots. Text started up his chainsaw as he and Bob flied over to Kirby, as soon as she began to whimper and cry into tears as they got closer to her. Right before Tex's chainsaw was about to make contact with Kirby, Bob suddenly interrupted.
Tex, wait! Don't kill the poor thing!
He said as Text stopped using his chainsaw. Kirby sighed in relief, as she was about to be set free from Bob. However, he then remarked,
I will make her death painless.
Kirby gasped again, as Bob held her body up with his robotic hand while holding his mini-machine gun in the other arm as he started aiming at her.
Sorry, little fella, but things had to be the way they were.
Bob said as the baby alien continued sobbing. Afterwards, Bob pulled the trigger as he fired a bullet at Kirby's face. Just as the bullet was about to make contact with Kirby's face, the screen cuts to black with Kirby letting out the famous Baby Kate crying sound effect from Arthur. I was really heartbroken at what happened at the last second. To be honest, Kirby was my second favorite character in Chicken Little, as I always had a soft spot on her. The trailer went to its ending point as it showed a wide shot of the THX logo from earlier. The screaming deep note from the Text and Zurg trailer built up again, but this time, the deep note was from the Eclipse trailer, and the chorus of people's screams that were from the four people who died from Tex and Bob played along with the screams that belonged to Chicken Little, Abby, Runt, Buck, and even Fish out of water as well, mostly common with Runt of the Litter's screams and Kirby's cries. Jesus Christ, I said to myself. The screaming deep note played for 20 seconds until Text and Bob dropped down in front of the screen as seen in the Mukin trailer once again. Text begins to speak to the audience.
Hello, Disney fans. You won't believe what Texie did this time. He has defeated a chicken who was afraid of the sky falling, along with a rooster, an ugly duckling, and a nervous pig in his hideout.
Yeah, I also helped him out too.
Bob explained.
That's right. This is my new sidekick, Bob. We used to be friends since we first met each other for the first time.
Text mocked.
So remember the main rule, TV viewers. If you ever fear me, Bob, my logo, or my company, the T-Men will hunt you down whenever we'll find you. Have a good night and sweet nightmares.
Text pressed the button on his chest to activate his jetpack as he flew off screen, laughing maniacally as always. Bob floated closer to the screen and spoke to me.
Rest in peace, your childhood.
Bob then saluted me as he started laughing like crazy as he flied away in the same direction Text went. Then the THX slogan, "The audience is listening," dropped down. As the screen was displayed, I can see Bob's eyes glowing in the dark as if he's making eye contact with me. After 4 seconds, the caption faded to black, but not the eyes. As that happened, I could hear Bob giggling in the background as the text disappeared. I found it to be really cute, but I was already getting chills after hearing him doing that. After 5 seconds, his eyes faded out. There was nothing but a black screen for a few more seconds, but unlike the last trailer I discovered, I braced myself for a jump scare to pop up again, and apparently there was. Normally, I was expecting a freeze frame of Runt's face whenever he screamed or Kirby's face when her eyes poked out after she sneezed, but instead, It was a close-up shot of Chicken Little as he discovered the piece of the sky before he called Abby. He had red glowing pupils through his eyes and he was crying blood. It was accompanied by a woman's shriek that was heard in the 2007 Halloween trailer, along with what sounded like a G major version of the infamous gut-wrenching Howie scream. That image scared the crap out of me as I covered my ears due to how loud it was. After the frightening jump scare ended, it took me back to the main menu. I was scared and surprised to see the horrifying version of Chicken Little in a THX trailer. In fact, this is even worse than the Brave Little Toaster THX trailer. I realized that I shouldn't have bought this DVD in the first place. I managed to save a few screenshots of the trailer before my mom came back home from work. I showed her the evidence, and she was appalled. Then last time, I took out the DVD and gave it to her to smash it into pieces. But not the Chicken Little DVD I took out before I watched the trailer. After that day, I couldn't sleep for a week, because I kept thinking about Text killing me in different ways, especially Bob the drone, as his machine gun would kill me instantly in my sleep. Obviously, this is another one of Adam Kennington's sick tricks. Sure, he got arrested after he got revenge on the company by making the 7th Lost THX trailer. But this is by far the worst trailer he ever created, even when he's trying to ruin my childhood again. Once again, never encounter a missing THX trailer made from Kennington's horrific creations. I'm serious, please don't. And just stay away from whatever project he created.